Why, oh why, oh why, oh why, oh why did this person have to cut a hole in this 240? Oh man. Look at this. Look at this crater. This is just ridiculous. I'm pretty much picking up where we left off. I've cut out, oh it's over here, I've cut out the piece that I'm going to be using for the driver's side. This will be sitting over here. That's where she's going to be sitting. I still need to work out what I'm doing for this side. As you can see, I pulled everything out of the way. Obviously the fuel cell's out. She's hanging out over here. I had a little more fuel than I thought I did. I drained about, I don't know, 3.5 gallons in here, and I think there's another 2 or 3 in there. So it came out pretty easily. I just pinched off the lines, took them off. I drained out majority of it so I could have a little bit of weight out of that tank so I could pick it up and move it, so on and so forth. Basically what I'm doing today is going over everything. I went ahead, I was going to wait to get some dry ice, but I just put a flap wheel on here, or a wire wheel. I don't know where I just threw it. I threw it over here. I put this wire wheel to work today, and she knocked out a ton of my sound deadening stuff in here, all of the crusty, nasty seam sealing garbage that Nissan put in here and whatever else has been sitting in the back of this car. It's all cleaned up. I think what I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm going to tack this in place tonight. I might, but for right now, you can see where this guy cut too much into. This is the subframe right here. I'm going to go ahead and weld all of this up, save that, and then I might patch a few holes over here with the welder, go around and fix up all the areas. I ground down the welds that he did on these crossbars that are on the car. I'm going to go ahead and re-weld them so that way I know that they're safe and they're sturdy and secure, because I just don't trust this guy's work whatsoever. Once I get that done, I think I'm going to move the fuel cell back into the car, position it where it sat, figure out where I need to place this guy, trace it out, and then make sure I have enough room to tack it in there and get one side complete. I really want to cut out this other side. I just don't know if I'm going to have enough material on this tailgate. I plan on possibly using the back side for some of the metal. I'm using this backside. I think I'm going to try to use this so I can have that as the back right here. I think it'll look you know, somewhat decent with like these little ribs that are on the back of the tailgate. It'll kind of just give it a different design, and that'll be the back side right here. Just little by little. I can't move too far ahead of myself because I need to get dry ice. I need to clean up the area that's in there, and I really need to get like a vacuum or a source of air. Here's the general idea that I've got going with this setup here. Obviously that piece of metal is going to be sitting right here. The fuel cell is just mocked up in there right now, sitting in its place. It's got 2 bolts in it. Then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do about this side, because I don't know if I'm going to have enough material to cover up that entire thing with the back side of this tailgate. We'll have to see. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like, what my idea was, and how I'm trying to save this 240. Alright guys, so I've gone through and started plugging up a lot of the holes that were in here. I went over this guy's welds, grounded them down, and went back over with my own welds. As you can see over here, the same thing. They're not the prettiest, but they're not meant to be pretty. They're meant to penetrate and do the job. So these are all these holes that I plugged up. And then this one up here. Lots of work. I know it looks crappy. I know it looks rough as hell, but as you can see, there's holes that are burned through. There's rust spots and stuff, so I'm trying to do what I can back here. Trying to save as much as possible. 85% of the time it's working with me. My welds are sticking, things are penetrating. I guess I'm gonna probably tack that into place and then set the fuel cell back in here, see how it looks, and then move forward with that. I want to start working on the cell itself, or excuse me, not the cell, the firewall itself. I'm going to be using the back side of the tailgate. This has worked out really well for me. This has been really helpful. I think I'm going to use this side of it. I'm going to, cut down here on this bottom part, up here on this top, measure out how long I need this to be and go from there. You guys kind of understand what I'm saying. It's a little bit finicky and a little pain in the neck to do this film and check in and, you know, try to get it right. Alright, one side is in there. I got her welded in place. Came out really good. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. She's in there. One side done. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to the other side like I planned to today. I've got it cut out. It's a little bit smaller than the other side because I just about ran out of dang material on the front side of that tailgate over there. But let me move all of this stuff for you guys. Here's this side. Move this line over a little bit there. And then this is where this guy's gonna sit. Annoyingly enough, it didn't reach all the way up here. I'm sure that I can maybe tack weld a piece right here to kind of make it flow better. It would look a little tacky, but like I said, I'm running out of material on that front side, and I planned on using the front side just for these two sides. So if I can get away with it and kind of make it work, I'll be happy with it. You guys kind of get the general idea of what it looks like now. The fuel cell will obviously be sitting in the middle, and then from there I'm going to start constructing this firewall. So it's getting pretty dark, if you guys couldn't tell, but I have the other side cut out and fitted. It looks like a jank mess up here. What I had to do was cut out a piece of the tailgate and extend it so that way it was even up along the top of the corner here, as you guys can see, and all the way down. That way it matches this side, which has been painted and is all pretty now and tucked in there. You can barely even tell. I'm gonna have to stop for the night and then pick back up where I left off tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. I think I'm gonna pull the fuel cell out tomorrow, weld this in place, and then put the fuel cell back in, and then start working on what I'm going to do for the firewall. Shout out to my tailgate. If you guys ever need material, the tailgate works great. I just cut this old thing up into several pieces, and as you guys can see, it has done the job for me so far. So heck yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So it's the following day. I want to show you guys what the floor pan looks like. I know it was dark in the last clip, so just want to give you guys a better idea of what this is going to look like. I'm going to start pulling everything back out, repeat the same thing that I did the other day when I was welding this one in, and get the other one that I have made up over here installed. I'm going to start cutting out a section for the back of the firewall, plan that all out, see how that's going to sit, and work our way forward. So after welding for the past like 30-45 minutes, I finally have the passenger side in. I also went ahead and repaired some rust holes that were here. I went ahead and welded around them and filled them in, and then all along the outside, you guys can see I welded this entire side. And this side was pretty beat up. It was all split in the seams over here, similar to that side, but it was all down further. So I welded this area, and all along here. Came out to be pretty good. I like the way that it turned out. I'm going to go ahead and set the fuel cell in there. Well, actually I have to figure out what I'm going to do with my lines for the time being, and then set the fuel cell in there, get everything hooked up, and then start working on the back side of it, wherever the tailgate is over there. It is day 3 for the floor pan repair / firewall mock-up. Everything is just about to complete or complete for this video. I do want to show you guys the final product and what I do have for right now. We still have a little more work ahead of us, but I do have the lines back in there, the fuel cells in there, and the pump. Let me show you guys really quick, and then we can wrap this video up because it is getting kind of lengthy, and my battery is also dying. I had to do a weird spin move because as we speak my camera is charging, and I want to film this outro and get this video uploaded for you guys. So let me make this really quick. Here's everything thrown back in, pumps back up here, all the lines are ran. I moved the stock fuel lines up at a 45-degree angle so that way I can still run the lines down in there, and it's still coming off the bottom feed of the cell. So it works for right now, just a temporary setup, that way I can move the car around, take it to the gas station, do whatever I need to do with it. Obviously I'm not drifting it right now. So this is the current setup. There's the back side of the tailgate. I have it kind of just sitting there in place so you guys can get a general idea of what I was regarding for the Firewall. I don't know if I'm going to have it stick all the way out here. I think I might shave off a little bit on either end, that way I can have some room back here in the trunk / hatch area. Maybe I can put my tool bag or a jack or the impact or something over here in the corner. That way if I ever go out street drifting or cruising, I can have some tools with me. Down here I think I showed you guys a little bit of it, but I'll show you again. These welds aren't the prettiest. I don't really care what you think. These were all rust holes, patches. There was like a plate right here from the factory. I'm not quite sure what it was for, probably like the factory gas tank or something, but it was right here along with a bunch of rust. I went ahead and cut out some areas and then started welding my way around and filled all of these holes, and then you can see I welded the floor pan in. Here was that little extension piece that I talked about in the last clip, how I had to extend it just a little bit. I could have done it down here, just had a piece to extend it to lift it up, but I wanted to follow this this curve right here and kind of make it uniformed to the other side. No, it's not perfect, but yes, it'll do the job. They are floor pans and it does look a lot better than what it was. We still have a couple more things on the list. I need to get the Holley hydromat. Well, let me turn this camera around. I'm holding the charger too, like in my hand as I'm doing this. Sorry about that. I need to get the Holley hydromat. That is going to be like one of the biggest things to this system, because it is going to be one of the biggest things to this system because it acts as a sump and it'll help my pump drastically, rather than running like some sort of top feed line or doing a whole new pump assembly that is like a top feed pump. This is going to kind of help me get around that aspect of things, so that way I have a functional fuel pump and fuel system. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do have some other things coming up for the car. Like obviously getting this glass installed. I've talked about it 3 or 4 times in all my videos. I like to repeat things, and it drives me up the wall, because when I look back on my videos I hear myself repeating things 1,000 times that I've told you guys, and you already know this. The windows are supposed to go in, just waiting on a caulk gun from my buddy who works at Safe Light. He said that I need a specific one to use the 3M adhesive, because I don't know, a normal like manual one won't work. I need to mock up some sort of system for my harness bar. It needs the secondary pieces that go down from the bottom of it. Right now you guys can see that it's not legal at all. It needs a bar that comes from the bottom down to the floorboard. So I need to work on doing that, and the Firewall, and shoot, we are just about done. This is like 4 minutes, and this is way too long of an outro. Let me wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the views. I appreciate everybody who supports the 240 stuff. I get a lot of crap and hate for my not doing Cummins content and stuff. If you guys want me to keep posting videos, I'd appreciate the support for the 240 stuff. If not, I think I'm just going to keep posting stuff for the fun of it. That way I can have it for my memories and kind of just get away from this vlogging thing, because no one seems to like the content or anything that I'm doing, so I'm just... Alright, whatever. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you who made it to this point, I will see you in the next one. Bye.